Oh, hey, Dave. We're now over 500 subscribers. In fact,
yeah, we're over 600 now. There's 600 people who willingly hit subscribe after watching one of our videos. And I'm very confused.
But why?
What are you people doing?
Stop.
Surely you have better things to do. And it's apparently the anniversary of Gundam. Apparently this
no,
is
you just spent like 5 minutes complaining that people say we say it wrong, so fuck no.
Yeah, I'm going to say it just to annoy him now. I'm just being a pedantic cunt at this point.
So let's review Gundam first 40th anniversary.
Are we just going to deliberately try and say it wrong every single time we have to mention Gundam?
Gundam.
Excellent. We seem to have done the timeline of Gundam in the most weird and fucked up way possible. We've kind of jumped back and forth in the 3 series we've covered so far. Like, we covered Stardust Memory. That was the first one we ever did.
Which is by far the best Gundam series. Fight me. Fight me.
gonna dispute that. I'm gonna go ahead and say Thunderbolt has been my favorite so far.
You're wrong.
And then we did do Apocalypse Now, the Gundam series.
Ah, yeah. Platoon. Gundam edition.
And so instead of, doing the sensible thing, which is going back and watching the first one and then doing Zeta Gundam and Double Zeta.
We're never reviewing Double Zeta, just so we're clear. Hell no.
We decided, not because we are, shills willing to cash in on any sort of opportunity to potentially get us more views. This is not why we're doing this show, but there may have been a release of CHAR'S COUNTERATTACK recently on a certain website. And so on a completely unrelated note, we decided we were going to do CHAR'S COUNTERATTACK.
I mean, it's totally not being sold by All the Anime if you're British.
Definitely
or
not.
Rather specifically, a Glasgow-based company. Give them money. Also sponsor us.
Because we'd like money. Hey, All the Anime. We're shouting you out.
I don't even want money. Just give me some Blu-rays.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can give you. You have literally bought all their Blu-rays.
I don't have the Cowboy Bebop one that's like £300 because I'm not mental.
I give you 6 months and you'll buy that. Anyway, so CHAR'S COUNTERATTACK is kind of the finale of the original Gundam series. It's the thing that wraps things up, where they finally make the 2 Spurgs from the original series fight each other in space.
In space. That's what this is supposed to be. This is the return of Jedi of Gundam. This is supposed to be an hour-long fight scene. Like, you're not here for the plot. If you're here for the plot, you've missed like 4 series.
The plot's been done at this point. This is not plot. This is the finale. This is the climax. This is a nice, big, spectacular set of fireworks to round out the original 3 series of Gundam. Rob, you've actually watched all of, Zeta and Double Zeta in the original series, so why don't you try and summarize what's going on for CHAR'S COUNTERATTACK, if you would be so kind.
So you know how like Napoleon came back from the Elba and it's the 100-day campaign or whatever the fuck? It's that, but in space. What more do you want? This is Waterloo.
We're doing Waterloo. This is not what I signed up for.
Space Waterloo.
This is not what I signed up for at all, goddammit.
You know I'm not wrong there.
Yeah, it kind of is though, isn't it? This is basically Char deciding that, yeah, I'm a step into the shoes that my daddy had, and I'm a do something super original for Zeon guys. Like, I'm picturing him sitting in like his command center with all of his Neo Zeon guys sitting around going like, right, guys, we need to find a way to really, really stick it to the Earth Sphere and the Feddies. So we really need to start thinking outside the box. Now, hear me out here, boys. This is some real outside the box Zeon thinking. What we should do is we should drop a fucking asteroid on them, okay? I know it's crazy, but I think it might just work.
Well, you know what they say about colony drops. If you don't first succeed, repeat it. Forever.
Yeah, are we doing a spoiler alert for this?
No, the spoiler alert was that. Spoiler alert.
That's it.
Zeon drops asteroids. The end.
That's not a spoiler. We know that already. They've been doing that since the first series.
That's the plot. It's literally in the introduction of Gundam. In the year 0079, Zeon decides to drop another fucking asteroid because they're a bunch of dicks. How the fuck do we talk about this film? Like,
let's talk about the characters. Who is your favorite characters in this, Robert?
It's Captain Noah, come on.
Yeah, obviously, the man with the hand who can dispense the wisdom in the form of an open palm across the face of some guy needing to get slapped.
I mean, if you don't like the bright slap, you're just...
Yeah, he's a good character. It's him and Nanai on the Neo Zeon side who appear to be like the adults in the room for their respective teams.
I will also always love Amuro. He's just a cool character.
He's actually pretty decent in this. Again, I like how they're able to show how this guy has clearly grown up and developed as a person from like this scrappy young teenager piloting a mecha to like this. I think he's in his like mid-20s for this, so he's really a veteran at this point. He knows what he's doing. He doesn't really come across as terribly autistic in this anymore, probably because Bright has slapped the worst excesses of the space autism out of him. What I'm saying is that his open slap is magic. Obviously you've got Char in this one. It's like he's in the fucking title or something, so he's quite prominent in this one.
I don't like this version of Char. Char's really good in like Char's like a really interesting character in the original Gundam. He's very interesting in Zeta because he's not Char, he's quite Vegeta.
I came to laugh at you.
And he's treading this thin line of being like, I'm not Zeon, but the Federation
I'm
of Dicks.
definitely not Char, but did you ever hear about how awesome that guy Char is? I heard he had an 8-pack.
And a 16-inch cock.
Yep.
Well, it's like Char's like whole character development Zeta is like completely ignored, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm just Space Hitler again.
I decided that I did all that growing and learning, and then I decided that I got bored of that. Now we're dropping colonies again, boys. Back we go again.
Yeah, and then Lala's character is fucking weird in this. I'm a space ghost, but also a swan. What?
Why are you here? I'm a space ghost.
I could have been a mother to Char.
She doesn't say that. That's Char saying that about her.
I know, it's just fucking weird.
Non-select. Yeah, let's just check this. So I'm just having a look at the age of them. So in Mobile Suit Gundam, Char was 20. Let's see, Lala was 17. Okay, technically by American laws, he's a nonce.
Nonce.
So the joke still counts. Kind of confirmed that Char is a bit of a nonce. That's nonce. So glad we've got that established, especially by the way he spends like the whole of Char's counterattack basically leading a damaged teenage girl on. And then there's some new characters that they add as well, like Quest, whose special power is being the fucking worst.
Yeah, worst girl confirmed.
Actual fucking worst girl ever. Like, holy shit.
Stardust memories.
I
never forget.
Nina is a better girl than this absolute fucking travesty of a human being.
False.
Actually, to be fair, Nina comes across as that, but she wasn't supposed to be, at least with Quest. She's supposed to be awful. And they succeed. She's awful. She is the worst girl in the show.
Worst girl.
With her fucking liberal arts degree hair, and I can make that joke because I studied history. It's technically self-deprecating humor. And yeah, her whole attitude of fuck you, I'm gonna get mine, falling madly in love with all the main characters, even though she's literally just met them. She's kind of like a literal Mary Sue has been dropped into this, but the Mary Sue taken to its logical extreme where they're a fucking sociopath.
Holds up Spork.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, other characters that are in this, there's Amuro's girlfriend who dies, and then there's some other characters. She dies. That's good. Tomino series so far. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about the characters in this, to be honest. There's not really, with the exception of, say, Quest, her being established as, being the fucking worst. And is it Gunai? Yeah, Gunai as well. Who's that weird cyber new type who could potentially, but it doesn't say his age on this, so I can't confirm whether he is or is not a nonce. Nonce. Kind of hard to tell. He could be, because again, he's lusting after a 13-year-old girl, which is a bit weird. Don't do that. Bad. Naughty. Stop it, Jimmy Savile. Let's have a chat about the positives, or what would you say you enjoyed about this?
Oh fuck, the last fucking hour of this film is hype. Yeah. Do you want mecha action? Do you want robots? Do you want space? There's no Atano's circus, but there's lots of missiles.
There's a fuck of a lot of missiles. Beautifully animated missiles, beautifully animated explosions. The whole thing is, this is just Sunrise flexing on everybody in terms of budget and animation talent. Like, this was made in 1988, before they had the advantage of modern animation software, and yet all of the animation is really crisp.
Can I ask you a question today? You know when they're delivering that colony or whatever, and you notice that it looks weird? There's like a colony and it's spinning in space, and it's like, and did you know that is the first time Gundam used computer animated? And I fucking noticed it. Fucking hate having
I did not notice that, actually. I didn't realize that there was any. I did not think there was any CG in this at all. If it was,
one of the first ever usage of computer animation in Gundam.
I didn't notice it. If it was there, it wasn't terribly egregious, I suppose.
I noticed it.
That's because you have space autism, but for CG. It's a new type. Get him!
You'll never take me alive, Feddies.
In terms of animation and things like that, it is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's sweet. And even like simple things like the new mecha designs for everything is just hype. Like
it looks so fluid. These are clearly absolute masters of their craft, doing something that they really, really enjoy doing and know how to do extremely well. This is Sunrise's forte. They are like the mecha guys. They know how to make the giant robots look real fucking good, and they have the budget and the pool of animators to make it happen, and they do. And it looks so good. It looks better than some stuff you see coming out these days. It looks better than a lot of stuff you see coming out these days in terms of how smooth and precise and fluid the whole thing is. And they take that and they apply it to like these fantastic battle scenes that go on for 10, 15 minutes. In some cases, just this full sequence of guys kicking the shit out of each other in space. It's great. It looks great. They do a lot in terms of the fight scenes that they have in this. They really know how to variate it and keep it interesting and fresh. And then there's a whole sequence where Char and Amuro are out of their suits and they're fighting each other inside the Axis.
To be fair to that, that's kind of a throwback to the original Gundam. You know how the original Gundam ends, right?
Yeah, is that the one where they have a sword fight?
Correct.
Only instead of sword fights this time, they are just throwing bombs at each other, and it's wonderful.
A bit more Home Alone.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's a very tense sequence that they manage to achieve because they're trying to ambush each other and get the drop on one another, and all the while they're busy doing what all Tomino characters do when they're in the middle of a fucking gunfight, which is...
Explain the plot!
No, they're not even explaining the plot. They're just philosophizing and pontificating upon their moralities and ethics, and you shouldn't do this, this is bad, human compassion, says Amuro, and then Char's like...
Space autism.
I'd drop a colony anyway, suck my dick.
Space autism. Nonsense. At all times. Never not nonsing.
Stop it, Char. Anyway, that was probably one of my favorite scenes in the whole thing, just in terms of what they managed to do and the tension that they managed to build in a fight scene. But the whole thing works very, very well.
I mean, we could sum up the story, but we've already done it by saying some space artists want to drop a space asteroid on not space Earth to get everyone to have space autism.
Yeah, and naturally the Federation are sat in the middle going, we're just going to be greedy cockshites, even though all the people who know better are going, you probably shouldn't trust the guy who has previously,
dropped an asteroid in the same movie already on.
He just did it. Now you're giving him another asteroid. Yeah, no, but he says he's not going to drop it on Earth and it's fine, and he gave us a load of money, so he's definitely legit. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Watching Tomino stories for the plot to make actual sense.
Yeah. Man.
Tomino plots can be summed up simple. Corporations are bad. Fascism is kind of okay. The military are good guys.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes in the Tomino shows.
There's a lot of good mecha designs in this, apart from those stupid forklift things that you see quite a lot.
It's really only Hathaway piloting that.
Yeah, but then you see them piloting it when they plant the bombs as well. Spoiler alert, they blow up the asteroid.
Yep, it's big spoiler alert right there. Yeah, those look really like the things out of Idion. They look like they've just taken that from Idion and been like, yeah, you know what? We need like a small walker device. You guys have animated this before. Just take the framework of that and use that. Fuck it. Why not? Let's talk about the negatives of this series, because we're professional reviewers with 600 subscribers.
600.
We know what we're doing. We're very good at this. The bad things that there are in this series, including the plot and how there isn't any, but they pretend that there is for an hour before they actually show us the cool mecha fights.
I mean, technically they show you the cool mecha fights right at the start, Dave.
Yeah, but that's a cock tease. That's like 10 minutes of look what you're gonna get in an hour.
I'm okay with foreplay. Like, come on. Dave.
There's foreplay and then there's fucking edging for an hour.
Cock and ball torture.
This is basically what the first hour is. Only you're not really into it at all.
No one's into that, Dave.
Apparently some people are. Who am I to judge? Y'all are weird though.
I don't really have any actual negatives about the show beyond the plot. And the plot isn't even that bad. Like, I can ignore the plot, and hence why I did. Like,
my one grumble that I have with it in terms of its finale sequence is this is kind of Tomino. It feels a bit like he's going back and kind of copying from his old notes, because this feels really, really similar to Be Invoked in terms of its finale. However, I feel Be Invoked did the final sequence between two sides clashing and then exploding into space dust a bit better. It felt a bit not quite anticlimactic, but not as dramatic as it could have been when Amuro and Char are, trying to stop this asteroid right at the end. It felt like it could have been a little bit more dramatic, just because this is like the final moments of the original 3 series, and it could have just used a little bit of extra oomph for my liking.
You gotta remember that Lala could have been a mother to me.
Nonce. This is one that we quite enjoyed, although it's flawed. It's very, very flawed in some ways, but it's fucking brilliant in others. So yeah, if you're someone who has watched all of Gundam up until Double Zeta, this is one to go check out. Yeah, no, if you're someone who is a fan of the Gundam series and is, caught up on the actual plot of this and would like to see how Tomino wraps the whole shenanigans up, this is one to go check out. If you're new to Gundam, no, don't watch this. This is not for you. Come back once you've watched, the first series and maybe Zeta Gundam, and you'll get way more out of it than you would otherwise. And go watch Thunderbolt instead. Thunderbolt's really fucking good.
Go watch Stardust Memories. Play the theme song.
Holy fuck, we get so distracted so easily.
I'm glad I'm not the stupid cunt that agreed to edit this.
I know, right? What dumb masochistic bastard would have agreed to edit over an hour of this bullshit into something vaguely comprehensible?
I don't even understand how you get 10 minutes of footage.
It's hard fucking work, man.